Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm Tristan, head of growth at Aluga, and I'm going today start with an unusual question about perfection. Yeah, what does Khabib Nurmagomedov and Walter White have in common? It's some might thinking, what a strange combination. Let me show you the answer. Khabib perfectioned a 29-0 record, undefeated. Khabib was undefeated in MMA and with a 29-0 record. And he is now still working as a coach in a really perfect way on a really high level. While Walter White, I'm a Breaking Bad fan, so he broke the crystal meth market with a 98% clean product. The industry standard for meth was between 60 and 70%. When you watch Breaking Bad intensely, you're aware of this number. And his advantage was this extra 28% on the product. And this is how he dominated the market. Khabib perfected every aspect of MMA. Walter White perfected his product. Both perfected and dominated their market. Now the question is, have you perfected your reach and your product with video marketing already? So what are the video marketing standards? 93% of online marketers report a positive return on investment from videos on their website or in general. Nowadays, 90% of all internet traffic is video. Video marketing is nothing new. Probably all of you are doing it already. Your competitors are doing it. The question is not why video. The question is how perfectly are you executing? So 2 times conversion rate, native language videos outperform, a 68 increase, English video conversion boost, 720K missed revenue annually from language gaps. Let me break this down for you. Text and images alone give you a 6 to 10% conversion on most landing pages. That's your baseline. If you add an English video, you jump up to 12 to 15%. That's an 86% increase of the conversion rate. But here's what's getting interesting. A native language video, you will hit 19 to 22% on top of the conversion. That means that it's 2 times better than a foreign language video. And the compounding effect doubles your conversion at the end. Let me do the math for you. You have 10,000 visitors per month, no video, probably 800 conversions. You add an English video, you have probably then 1,400 conversions from 10,000. If you're adding now a native language video, you are getting up to 2,000 conversions. At $100 average order value, that's 700,000 euro in missed revenue annually if you're only using English video. So you're operating at 60 to 70% of your potential, like Walter White's competition. So your goal should be, you need 89% purity, reach perfection, not just content perfection. So, but here is the 75% blind spot. only 25% of 6 billion internet users access content in English. These are the 25% you're reaching with English-only content. The other 75% prefer their native language. So you are creating a perfect video only for 25% of the market when you do English-only content. So you've perfected your video production, you spend a lot of money into the production, but your messaging doesn't really increase the funnel. And 75% of potential audience will never enter that funnel anyways. So the money left on the table, significant revenue loss due to language barriers. Let me quantify this opportunity costs. 76% of people buy preferentially in their native language. 40% will never buy in a foreign language. Companies with multilingual strategies see 1.5% revenue growth. And we are in Germany, and you are right now in London, most of you. And between Germany and London is France. France, for example, is only on the 49th ranking in terms of English-speaking countries, whilst it's in the middle of the DACH market or the EU market, and it has a huge potential for a lot of B2B businesses. So yeah, and when you're not offering content in French or videos in French, you missed a lot of things there. Yeah, and that's real money you are leaving on the table in this blind spot. So now you might be thinking, okay, why am I not just using YouTube? Yeah, let me show you why that's problematic for serious B2B multilingual video content. YouTube is for free, but is it really free? I don't think so. I have also brought an example. This is the Mautic YouTube channel. Mautic creates fantastic content. They're marketing automation experts, but look what happens with multilingual video on YouTube. Videos in different languages are mixed together. Comments in multiple languages with no organization. There is no language filter for users. This creates 4 major problems. The audience fragmentation, 30% of subscribers leave channels with mixed languages because it's irritating. You have a brand delusion, YouTube logo, not yours, competitor recommendations after your videos, no lead capture forms. So yeah, if you embed a YouTube video on your website, YouTube will propose another video and will show ads. This can, even if they are saying SEO is YouTube is great for SEO, there is a problem in terms of distracting users from your website. And the next problem you have with this setup here is an analytics gap. You have an 80% data gap to your CRM. You cannot really add any viewers or people that watch your videos to your HubSpot or Salesforce or even Mautic. On top of that, we have a huge compliance risk. There are a lot of GDPR challenges right now, and a lot of fines were already created because YouTube is still in an US company. And for example, in Germany, you need to be transparent where your data is going. And yeah, and this is a huge risk. So But what is important, I'm not criticizing Mautic here. This is a structural YouTube problem for serious B2B content. A lot of big companies have the same problem. They are having a YouTube channel. They have no subscribers. They have, and also their videos will not get recommended from YouTube because they are mostly advertisements. So what you're building on a YouTube channel for B2B is not 100% beneficial. I'm not saying you shouldn't do YouTube, but you need another solution, especially for your website and for your video hosting. So yeah. Then what's the next trap? We have also in the video market a huge trap of complication. When you have a video and you want to translate it into different languages, you often have the problem that you need a lot of files then. And the multi-file approach complicates video localization and management. So many marketers create separate video files for each language to ensure a more personalized experience. However, this traditional approach leads to chaotic management and brand inconsistency and really skyrocketing costs, ultimately hindering efficiency and audience reach. So, for example, you are a German-based company and you have some people in France and in Spain, and they all ask for videos in their own native language. You always, when you work with agencies, they usually charge a lot more money for the translations. And the solution could be one separate video file for each language, one video. So the problem is you have one video file and you need to create 5 different files for each market. This sounds logical, but creates 3 major problems. You have to upload 5 videos on YouTube, for example. You have way more translation errors. And your brand could be inconsistent in terms of, when the videos don't match anymore with the content itself, with the languages. So a video can then jump from originally maybe 5,000 up to 70,000 in production costs, just to add more languages to it. And you have an ongoing management problem in your company. And most marketing teams don't have the space in their head for this kind of problem. That's why it's not so happening that much. So, Here are some insights from our customers and from what we learned, what I learned since I'm joined Aluga. So you need, before you start your video campaign, also think about your multilingual strategy beforehand and not just afterwards when you create the video. And you should be having a video marketing strategy for the markets you want to conquer, let's say. So we're not saying you need to have 200 languages right away from the start, but you should make a strategy where in which markets you can get out the most, and start one market and adding different markets from time to time to it. So data-driven decisions, leveraging analytics for strategic marketing insights. This means, for example, with YouTube analytics, you don't really have a great overview how the video is getting viewed in different languages. So you have probably a dashboard and you can stick it out with the data, but it's a lot easier when you have one video file and you see all the data about the video in one space, instead of checking 5 different video files about the data. Yeah, and the operational efficiency, you can streamline your process. So working with one video and automatically moving it into different languages saves a lot of time and effort. So what actually works? I would have some perfect case studies for you, but I have also 6 months of real learning solving exactly this problem. And here are some real life case studies, not only from Aluga, but that are really common in the world. First of all, when you speak to people in their native language for your brand, this is a trust accelerator. Trust matters nowadays. And I was watching a movie on Amazon Prime last week, an old movie. And because I had to be silent, I had to turn on the subtitles, and it was so bad because there is some need of perfection. And based on that experience, I really had the problem to, maybe it's because of my business, but it looked really bad for Amazon Prime to having this kind of bad native subtitles there. So it's important to have the native language perfected. One number, native language equals trust accelerator. The data shows 40% engagement with native language, and you get 30% longer time on your website, meaning this could reduce in e-commerce a 22% cart abandonment and increase 2 times the conversion rates versus English-only content. But here's the psychology behind it. When someone sees content in their native language, something psychology happens. It's not just, oh, I understand this better. It's this company respects me. This company is for me. This company understands my world. And this is a trust accelerator. You can't A/B test your way. You either have it or not. So insight number 2, the hidden operational advantage. Like I said before, you get with 5 separate videos, fragmented analytics, which language performs best, mostly unknown, which market is most engaged, you cannot tell, overall performance. You need to really dive deep into this. With one video and multiple audio tracks, you have a unified intelligence system. I call it myself language management CRM. You have one dashboard, all languages, clear comparison, which markets are performing best. And you have real market intelligence for strategic decision based on data, not only guesswork. My recommendation is start small, scale fast. Effective strategies for gradual video marketing growth. By focusing on a phased approach, you can test, learn, and scale your video marketing with less efforts, ultimately leading to greater engagement and increased conversion rates. Insight number 3 is tactical. Most of the companies having this mistake trying to localize everything at once, which is overwhelming and expensive, and you not really learn from the first language, which you can adjust to other languages or language barriers. What really works is when you have a test phase with your top 3 videos and you use the top 2 markets and you're measuring your lift in Then you start phase 2, what you learned, calculate your return on investment, understand why, and then phase 3, scaling up different markets with more videos and adding more languages. And if it was negative, your ROI, just adjust. So don't do everything at once. Start with proven content in 2 markets, get data, scale what works, prove it with data, and then scale with confidence. So here are real-world results I'm talking about. Net professional localization drives exponential global growth, especially on Netflix. In e-commerce, there is increased sales and reduced cart abandonment up to 38%. And B2B SaaS companies can increase their revenue about 35% versus monolingual strategies. Yeah. So let's summarize average. There is in every branch 1.5 point times the revenue growth consistently achieved. What does works look like in practice? Yeah, this is what I already said. And this aren't outliers. This is a true pattern across different industries, no matter which industry you're coming from. On top of that, what we have achieved with Aluga, so one little advertisement here, of course, we managed with our multilingual management, video marketing management system, we achieved a 95% time saved per video in post-production. You have a crazy amount of cost reduction with the expenses, and you are more efficient with your multilingual management because you have one space, and with our multilingual technology, you have only one file, but you can also export every language for other platforms. So we have a lot of customers that are still on YouTube, but use our platform to manage their subtitles and their voice clonings, and then export them and upload them to YouTube. So here's the breakthrough. Traditional localizing costs could rise up to 250,000 euro for 5 languages for 5 videos. AI-powered centralized platform with Aluga, you can go down to maximum 25,000 per language. That's a 90% cost reduction and saves you in total with a big project 225,000 euro per video. Unified management, consistent branding, real-time analytics, and you have a truly faster time to market. This technology has just made perfection affordable, and this is how you really reach 98% purity at affordable costs, like Walter White. Yeah, I hope there are some Breaking Bad fans in the audience. So, key metrics for your global success. Yeah, you need to measure the traffic by country and language to assess market penetration and engagement effectively. You need to track your video watch time and completion rates by language to enhance the content relevance and impact. Conversion, you need to analyze your conversion rates and your lead generation by market to optimize sales strategies across regions. And efficiency, you need to elevate your cost per language and time to market to improve allocation and operational efficiency. So what does that really mean? So what should you measure? 4 simple categories: reach. Are we reaching the 75% we missed? track traffic by country and language. Engagement, are they more engaged? Track watch time, completion rates, and your native language should show 30 to 40% higher engagement in the new languages. Conversion, are they converting better? Track your conversion rates by language and the market. Localized should show 1.5 to 2 times higher conversions in general. So, and the efficiency, can you scale this? Track your costs per language and your time to market. Modern platforms should show up to 90% cost reductions, especially in the time of AI and where every week comes a new update in the AI world, in the AI bubble. But one recommendation, don't measure everything, measure what really proves the business case. So from chaos to clarity, transforming your video marketing for maximum impact, operational efficiency, adopting a unified video management approach significantly reduce operational chaos. For your marketing agency, this really, when you're in marketing and you have to manage videos, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Or if you're in a marketing team and you have to deal with video agencies. So you always have this in the post-production. What about another language? How much do you charge? And I was 2 days ago at an event where an agency talked about how they are now using AI videos. And this was very interesting because even when they had reduced their time and the amount of days that they needed to create a video, the project price dropped only from 6,000 euro to 2,000 euro, while they reduced the production time from, let's say, 30 days to 3 days, because they were only using AI, which I found interesting in front of the crowd. But the translation costs and adding different languages and adding different subtitles would still be very, very expensive. And that's why when you're in marketing and you're hiring an agency, you always try to lower your costs, of course. And that's why this is a loophole that gets totally ignored. So I can skip this a little bit. So when you have your strategy at the start, that you start with one video file that you create and have then this multilingual CRM management tool, this approach makes it more clear. And you have your tools aligned with your marketing strategy. So it's super easy, it's scalable, it's fast, and this is what you want. And you can deal with your agency only for the first video, while you are really managing everything else, to hosting, subtitling, voice cloning on your own in one tool. That's why we come to the technology stack. We at Aluga have developed the Dubber, which is your CRM for multilingual videos, let's say. You can upload your videos, you can add languages to it, you can then edit you have your human control, because we have an 98% accuracy level based on our own trained AI, but still depending on the quality of the video, if there is some background noise, or you still have the human check. But once you have checked your first file and you add language to it, the system takes the corrected file and it creates the perfect second version in the different language. And we have over 200 languages and 400 voices in the tool itself. But what we also have on offer is voice cloning. So meaning when you have 3 speakers and you want to use their voice, we can clone them as well and add them to the system. Yeah, this is the dubber, of course. What else is important when you need to be aware of when you choose your tool? Your unified analytics. So for example, in Aluga, when you upload your video and you add the languages, you get the analytics for every language, how many people watch it, the watch time, etc., and have it in one dashboard for this particular video. So you can then really analyze the, this video has cost you 2,000 euro, for example, and you can then analyze exactly the output of the cost of that video with the revenue that you created and have based on the market, a better option to analyze it. Yeah. And what's even more important nowadays, since let's say there is a cultural EU war on US companies, Aluga is hosted on Hetzner. It's 100% GDPR compliant for EU markets. And we have a cookie-free video. We are a cookie-free video platform, meaning when you add our player to your website, you don't need to mention us in your GDPR settings because we're not tracking anything. And because we're in the EU market, our video player starts 0.06 seconds faster than other players. And this increases your user experience dramatically. And if you want, you can check out our player at our website, which I show you here. If you want, you can go to aluga.com and then you see how fast the player just starts. And you can also check here the language we have in the system. Yeah, so feel free to check it out for yourself, the experience on your website. Yeah, and let's go back to the talk. So yeah. So it's important that you integrate for a global marketing and streamline your operations. So let's go back to Mautic. Yeah, if you have your Mautic set up and you set up your email strategies and you want to add a video link to it, you can build in Mautic multiple lists with different languages. And the moment you add your video to it, you will have the problem that you have only one language while your email list is based on different texts. The good thing is with Aluga, so when you add the video to the email list and someone clicks on it, the Aluga player recognizes the browser language of the viewer. And if you have activated the language, the video starts automatically in the language of the viewer based on the browser settings. This is super personalized. So the combination with Mautic and Aluga as your video host will is systematically a real win-win situation for you. Exactly. Returning back to perfection. This is what I just told. I'm a little bit ahead of my slides. Returning to perfection. Khabib perfectioned every aspect of MMA while working on the details and having his, let's say, found his style that is unbeatable. Walter White created a perfect product in a difficult market and seemed to have success to a certain point. You can have similar success with a better ending than Walter White, of course. When you don't overlook the loopholes on the market and let's say put the last 30% into your post-production with your marketing strategy. The fun thing about video marketing is always the creative process. This is the fun thing to do and sitting and brainstorming great ideas. But the translation and the subtitling is, let's say, in video editing, the not so funny part for the editors and even for the marketing people. And with Aluga, you can get to perfection with let's say for a dime. We are not so expensive, and you can, improve your level of perfection. That's it. 37 minutes. I think I'm on time. If you want to connect with me, I do also. So when we start working with customers, I always do a video marketing audit. And if you would like to have a free audit for your business, please connect with me on LinkedIn. And I would have, even if we have just a coffee and just talk about it, what you learned, or if you want to give feedback on my talk, whatever, I'm happy to connect with all of you guys. My goal today was not only to promoting Aluga today, because of course I'm head of growth and I want to promote it, but for the bigger goal was for me to open your eyes about the left potential on the table when you're not translating your videos. And I hope my message came across, and I was happy to be here. And now Q&A, I'm ready to go.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can we all hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, amazing. Sorry, I wasn't sure. All right, great. Thank you so much, Tristan, for the amazing session. For people in the call, if we have questions for Tristan, we can share our questions in the questions tab. You'll probably be able to see that on the right-hand panel. So we'll wait a few minutes to see if anyone has questions. Okay. I do not see any questions yet. Okay. All right. I think that will be it for the first session, which is the keynote. Please feel free to connect with Tristan by scanning the QR code, or also reaching out via the email you can see on the screen. And I believe that's it for this session, and we will be back for the next session at 10 a.m. UK time.
Thanks for your time. I hope you learned something, or it was okay. And I'm looking forward for tomorrow.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Bye bye.
Right.